It's the first week of November, and I've got running, passing, kicking, jumping, and skating highlights for you, all coming up in the next few minutes.
I'm pretty stoked right now.
Welcome to Royal Recap. I'm Sports Information Director Dale Eng, bringing you highlights from the last week of Bethel University athletics. The temperature has been dropping, but for some sports, the action has just begun to heat up. Following a bye week, Bethel's football team headed down to St. Peter to take on the Gustavus Gusties in an effort to stay among the top 3 teams in the MIAC. The Royals fell behind 7-0 in the first quarter, but came back to tie the game in the second with this 38-yard touchdown strike from starting quarterback Reed Velo to receiver Joel Quick. After a 3-and-out series by the Gusties, Bethel got the ball back on their own 30-yard line. On the second play from scrimmage, the Gusties got some good pressure on Reed Velo, but oh, what's this? A little screen pass to Kevin Lind, who takes the ball 62 yards down to the Gustavus 4-yard line, setting up a Dusty Wall touchdown 2 plays later. Early in the third quarter, Gustavus picked off Velo and ran the ball back for a touchdown to tie the game at 14. But on the Gusties' next possession, David Vavra almost returned the favor as he returned a Jordan Becker pass back 39 yards to the Gustavus 3-yard line, setting up another Dusty Wall touchdown on the very next play. On the Gusties' ensuing possession, Billy Morgan forced a fumble that David Benjamin recovered, giving Bethel great field position.
Raymaker, ball carrier, fumble on the play.
Logan Flannery rushed for 17 yards on the first play from scrimmage and gained an additional 10 yards on the drive before, you guessed it, another Dusty Wall touchdown as he banged his way into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game, making the score 26-14. But Bethel wasn't done just yet. On 4th down inside Gusties' territory, Kevin Ness had his punt down at the Gustavus 1-yard line, and Jordan Becker tried to move the Gusties upfield, only to find Tim Cornish waiting for the pass, and he returned his 2nd interception of the game into the end zone for a touchdown. Cornish has 6 interceptions on the season and 15 in his career. He also blocked his 3rd field goal attempt of the season earlier in the 4th quarter, giving Bethel the ball at midfield. For his efforts on offense, Joel Quick earned MIAC Offensive Player of the Week as he had 184 all-purpose yards from 7 catches, 2 kick returns, and a punt return. The Royals are now 6-2 overall and 5-1 in the MIAC, heading into Saturday's big showdown with St. Thomas, which begins at 1 p.m. at Royal Stadium. Moving on to cross country, last Saturday was cold and windy at Como Park Golf Course, site of the MIAC Championships. On the women's side, Marie Borner collected her 3rd straight individual championship with a time of 21:43, winning by 32 seconds over her nearest competitor. I caught up with Marie after her race, which was pretty much the only way to catch up with her.
It was pretty hard running out there. I felt kind of slow. I think the wind took its toll on everyone.
Really?
It was, yeah. I mean, a couple times you'd come around a turn and boom, burns in your face. Yeah, I think it definitely took some energy.
Borner is the first runner in more than 20 years to win 3 consecutive individual conference championships. Kristen Mork and Heather Jellin also finished in the top 15 to earn all MIAC honors, and the Royals came in 2nd place overall. In the men's race, Dan Greeno was the pace setter and also cruised to a win of more than 30 seconds with a time of 25:21. Greeno has been an all-conference runner in each of his 4 years, but this marks his first individual championship.
Oh, I feel great. I've been wanting this for 4 years. Never won one in track or cross yet, so I'm pretty stoked right now.
As a team, the Royals came in 7th place at the meet. The top 7 runners from both teams will now compete in the NCAA regional meet coming up on November 14th in Grinnell, Iowa. The women's soccer team closed out their season with a pair of home games last week. On Wednesday afternoon, Brittany Graffour put Bethel up 1-0 after a bit of a scrum in front of the net. St. Olaf tied the game early in the second half, but with less than a minute to play, Graffour struck again, giving the Royals a 2-1 win over the Olies, their first ever against St. Olaf in the 17-year history of the program. Then on Saturday, Bethel hosted the St. Catherine Wildcats for the last game of the season. The 2 teams were deadlocked at 0-0 for the first 80 minutes of the game, but then Graffour scored her 14th goal of the season to lift Bethel to a 1-0 win. Graffour set a new school record for points in a season with 35, and the Royals had their most successful season ever at 12-5-1. The men's soccer team also had one of their most successful seasons in the last 5 years, but finished their season on a down note with a 1-0 loss to St. Olaf. Bethel's wins over St. Thomas and McAllister, which were their first in at least a decade, will be their most memorable moments of the year. Bethel's volleyball team also finished their 2009 campaign and did so in winning style. The Royals won 7 of their last 9 matches, including 5 conference matches in a row. Last week, they faced McAllister and Hamlin on the road and won 3-0 in both instances. Nicole Reet led the team against the Scots and the Pipers, finishing the season as Bethel's top hitter. The Royals finished with an overall record of 14-15 and a conference record of 5-6. Finally, men's hockey took to the ice for the first time this season in the MIAC Hockey Showcase. The Royals lost to Augsburg on Friday afternoon and came back to face Gustavus on Saturday night. After falling behind 1-0 in the first period, Chris Fiala tied the game with his first goal of the season 5 minutes into the second period. 10 minutes later, Austin Hatch put Bethel up 2-1, and then just 2 minutes after that, Fiala struck again to make the score 3-1. Unfortunately, last year's national runners-up scored 3 unanswered goals to win 4-3. The competition doesn't get any easier for Bethel as they take to the road to face nationally ranked St. Norbert, followed by UW-Stevens Point. The women's hockey team will begin their season this weekend with a pair of home games, first on Friday night against UW-Eau Claire, and then UW-Stevens Point on Saturday afternoon. That's it for this week's edition of Royal Recap. For all the stats, stories, and schedules concerning Bethel University athletics, check out athletics.bethel.edu. Thanks for joining me. I'm Sports Information Director Dale Eng.